जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय राधा वल्लभ श्री राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा Jaya Prahlad Narasimhadev, Prahlad Narasimhadev, Prahlad Narasimhadev, Prahlad Narasimhadev. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Sri Sri Gaurita ki, Sri 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 Radhola Bhagwan ki, Sri 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 Jagannath Baladev Subhadramaya ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 7, verse number 53. So verse number 53 is primarily about preaching of Krishna consciousness as the highest welfare activity. This is a chapter titled as what Prahlad Maharaja learned in the womb of his mother. So today's verse in particular emphasizing on not only becoming Krishna conscious oneself, but also how we can help others to become Krishna conscious. That is preaching as the highest welfare activity. So we have many welfare activities. So here, how to do para upakara, how to do something that benefit others. Okay, so and when we read the whole purport and also Prabhupada has emphasized that a lot. So before we move on, so let us pray to Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So again, Canto 7, Chapter 7, verse number 53, which is on the board. First we will read word by word and then we'll read the whole statement by statement. So please repeat after me. Tataha Haro Bhagavati Bhaktim Kuruta Danvaha Atma Upamena Sarvatra Sarvabhutatmani Tato Haro Bhagavati Tato Haro Bhagavati Bhaktim Kuruta Danvaha Bhaktim Kuruta Danvaha Atma Upayena Sarvatra Atma Upayena Sarvatra Sarvabhutatmanisware Sarvabhutatmanisware Tato Haro Bhagavati Bhaktim kuruto danvaha. Atma upena sarvatra. Sarva bhutatmani svare. Tato haro bhagavati. Bhaktim kuruta danvaha. Atma upamena sarvatra. Sarva bhutatmani svare. Tato haro bhagavati. Bhaktim kuruta danvaha. Atma upamena sarvatra. Sarva bhutatmani svare. Tato haro bhagavati. Bhaktim kuruta danvaha. Atma upena sarvatra. Sarva bhutatmani svare. Tato haro bhagavati. Bhaktim kuruta danvaha. Atma upena sarvatra. Sarva bhutatmani svare. Bhaktim kuruta danvaha. Mataji's. So we'll read word by word translation. Tata, therefore, Haro, unto Lord Hari, Bhagavati, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhaktim, devotional service, Kuruta, execute, Danvaha, O my dear friends, O sons of the demon, Atma upamena, just as one's own self, Sarvatra, everywhere, Sarvabhutatmani, who is situated as the soul and super soul of all living entities. Isvare, unto the Supreme Lord, the controller. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki. My dear friends, O sons of the demon, in the same favorable way that one sees himself and takes care of himself, take to devotional service to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present everywhere as the supersoul of all living entities. Purport. The word Atma Upamena refers to thinking other to be like oneself. One can very intelligently conclude that without devotional service, without becoming Krishna consciousness, one cannot be happy. Therefore, the duty of all devotees is to preach Krishna consciousness everywhere, all over the world. Because all living entities without Krishna consciousness are suffering the pangs of material existence. To preach Krishna consciousness is the best welfare activity. Indeed, it is described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Paropakara, work for the true benefit of others. The activities of Paropakara have been especially entrusted to those who have taken birth in India as human beings. Bharata bhumite haile manusya janma yara janma sartha kari kara paropakara. So this is in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila, chapter 9, verse 41. The entire world is suffering for want of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised all human beings born in India to make their lives perfect by Krishna consciousness and then preach the gospel of Krishna consciousness all over the world so that others may become happy by executing the principles of Krishna consciousness. Om Ajnana Trimindasya Jnananjala Salakaya Chaksurulvitamena Tasme Sri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapadaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachata Deshatarani Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivanda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So, when we go through this, the whole chapter, which is what did Prahlad Maharaja have learned in the womb of his mother? Of course. So this Prahlad Maharaja himself is explaining what did he learn. In the previous chapter, the last verse, so there during the mid break, during like lunchtime break, so Prahlad Maharaja has been very beautifully teaching, explaining the goal of life to his classmates. Then finally they asked him, you are also our classmate. We see that you also, just come to the school and then go to your palace, to residence to stay. But we are surprised. How did you learn all of this? You also didn't get opportunity to associate so much with Mahabhagavata such as Narada Muni and others. So that is when he started answering that when he had learned. He learned all this, what he explained to them in womb of his mother. So this chapter has several verses. So the last one is verse number 55. So if you actually divide these 55 verses, each first 5, second, next 5, next 5 like this, you see there is a progression and change and focus of topics. So starting with explaining how you come across the situation, come across with, listening first. Then he talks about, the nature and soul, Supreme Lord, the importance of devotion. Then he talks about how Supreme Lord is accompanying the soul and as a well-wishing friend. So then also explain the nature of soul. Then last few verses were focused on the body, then the nature of body, and of course the relationship of a person, a living entity in that bodily form with other bodily forms. Then last 2-3 verses are talking about the importance and further emphasizing this bhakti. especially verse number 48 to yesterday verse, more and more about glories of this bhakti, glories of devotional service. And today is also. So now that he is talking about previously, now that you understood glories of bhakti and you are performing bhakti, then what to do with it? Others also suffering, go and share this bhakti. Okay, so today's verse is primarily emphasizing, take up Krishna consciousness, purify yourself, then obviously you will become happy. Then you share that happiness with others in the form of sharing, teachings and making them also devotee. So this way they also will be happy. So, so if you look at verse number 48, so there it is, talked about this 4 purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. We perform to be happy in this world, starting with dharma. Some religious activities includes their developing devotion to demigod, devotee devotion to Supreme Lord. So there are some benefits out of this. Then of course Prahlad Maharaja is saying that these benefits are automatically given by Supreme Lord. So therefore, so what is that best you can do is just worship Supreme Lord. Then economics, the artha will come. So that is up to Supreme Lord. So then he moved on to how Supreme Lord is in every living entities. Then ultimately he said that these jivas are essentially manifestation of Supreme Lord energy. The jivas and of course the body is also a gift of Supreme Lord. So that is next point he emphasized. Then furthermore he emphasized that anyone, whether they are demigod or a human or a woman or a living entity, anyone, if they take up this Krishna consciousness, devotion, that is the most auspicious thing they can do. Then in yesterday's verse, there was a lot of discussion on, highest achievement. So he's saying that you may be perfect Brahmana, or you may be biggest, demigod, or you may be, perfect Gnani. But that will not attract Krishna's attention. That will not, so it won't attract pleasure of Krishna. So furthermore he says, you might perform great austerity sometime during cold. You go and sit down inside the ice. Some people do. Sometime they have a small box, they go inside the box and full of freeze. These are, people broadcast this, through big TV channels and so on. Show their greatness, their austerity, and their ability to become small like this and go inside the box with full of ice and stay there for 2 hours and come out. Yeah. So, so like that, they might do austerity, then great awe, all one can do, but that will not attract pleasure of Krishna. So therefore, what can attract Krishna? The devotion, the pure devotion to Supreme Lord. So now that you are, understood this, that Krishna is very pleased with pure devotion, what to do? So you are happy, then you share with others. So that is today's verse focus. So here, starting with, when we look at Prabhupada's purport, it starts with Atmano Pena. Atma Upamena. So he says, Prabhupada says that this refers to thinking others to be like oneself. Obviously, ourselves, we are very kind to ourselves. We want to be happy. We take care of ourselves. So similarly, you also extend that to others. So nature of soul is to offer service, correct? We all are trying to first take care of ourselves. Then we start extending our care to, let's say, family members, then extend it to the society where you live, extend it to the state where you live, then extend it to the whole country, then become successful in a country, then you create international society for welfare activities in various ways. So people are extending, so extending their nature of being helpful to others, serving others. So in many ways, materially. So now, the highest, the eternal one is the eternal happiness. So that also you extend to everyone. So here as we read, Prabhupada says, so from this one can intelligently conclude that without devotional service, without becoming Krishna conscious, one cannot be happy. So this is a very important statement. So for example, in material consciousness means bodily consciousness. We think ourselves as a body. So therefore everything we do in the context of body. Doing economic activities, doing technical advancement, doing all kinds of social advancement, primarily to care welfare of the body. So as a result, our consciousness engrossed in how to take care of this body. And of course, we have all this body with senses, and how to give pleasure to those senses. Senses also will demand endlessly. So how to gratify senses so that we can be happy. So sense gratification is the way to be happy. That's how we think. So as a result, what happens in this consciousness of body? Obviously, our body has mind, intelligence, and ego. Physical body and the subtle body, and the mind, part of subtle body. So this mind's intelligence will be very much again material, fully engrossed in body. So as a result, and the intelligence is so much of material in nature, what happens? The intelligence is the one which is guiding the mind, and this mind will be unsteady, never happy with whatever you offer. You see, so much of advances is made. And people now virtually have got so much of physical pleasure. So air-conditioned room, right temperature during winter, right cold during summer. And of course, if you want to connect with somebody immediately at your fingertip, you can do a mobile call, WhatsApp call, all kinds of connectivity. Then at fingertip, whatever you're looking for, a movie or some jokes or whatever, you can get it from the network. Everything is coming. But they are not happy. So we have this problem of mental health problem. And this is called mental health illness. This is the fastest growing disease. And actually this coronavirus has accelerated this problem. During all this, as you all know, we were all locked up in a house. Then being at home, so much, everybody is in a family members. If there are 4 or 5, each one of them are in their own corner. So we thought during, people thought during lockdown, everybody will bond better, they know each other better, they will speak to each other because, rest of those previous ages, maybe previous years, maybe they didn't spend time so much together. Now that they're spending time together, they will become friendly, understand each other. They will come out as very nice, close-knit friendship. But that didn't happen. What actually happened was everybody became isolated within a room. Everybody is busy in their own life. Then they are more isolated. So as a result, the acceleration of this mental health problem. So this is going to be a big problem in next 20-30 years. They say by 2050, the biggest problem is going to be mental health problem. Already the governments everywhere are investing so much of money, in this area. The people, so this mental health problem, who is facing? Not just those who are at age of 60, 70, 80, they might be thinking we are ignored, nobody is talking to us. But even those at the age of 25 or 30, and they are earning enough money, have a good job, but now they have mental health problem. Physically they are very fit. Oh, they say I have to go to this mental health expert, understand what is the problem with my mind, and then simply anxiety. So much of worry, anxiety, not happy at all. And some are so much unhappy that they're taking their life. So, so this is all a big problem. Anyway, so that means the intelligence which is not Krishna consciousness, so it is the one which guides the mind, but it is not guiding properly. As a result, mind is unsteady, just like monkey. You see monkeys, so they are on top of a banana tree, or some other tree, mango tree. They pluck the banana, eat little bit, then while eating they see another banana. They throw this away and jump to other place. Like this they jump on in their activity. In, just like these 4 fundamental things. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. They do all these 4 things, just steady jumping one after other with everybody, everything. Just for the pleasure. So that is the how the mind becomes unsteady. As a result, no peace. And if there is no peace, there is no happiness. Happiness you get only when you are peaceful. Now, Prabhupada says, those who are in Krishna consciousness, they are happy. Why they are happy? So what is Krishna consciousness person? So his consciousness is more and more divine. Krishna is the supreme divine. And when he is in divine consciousness, what happens? The intelligence that person has becomes spiritual. Then when the mind is guided by this spiritual intelligence, obviously person will be happy. The person will be more content with whatever he has got, whatever she has got. That's the most important point. So you may be working, earning some money. You may be, writing exam, getting some marks as a result. You are performing some activities, you are getting result. So the person who is guided by spiritual intelligence, he is content with whatever he is getting. He knows this is Krishna's gift. I am performing certain activity. But the result is not in my hand, we all know. Correct? A person works for 1 hour, he will get $1 million. Another person works 1 hour, he might get $1 only. Correct? You just go and find out in Australia itself, who is highest paid. That fellow is getting 1 million per hour, his work is 1 hour only. And who is the lowest? Some person is working, he may be getting $1, $10, but government now has forced. If you employ somebody for 1 hour, you must pay at least $20. Correct? This is by force. If it is no force, free only. Correct? They might just give them a little piece of bread to eat for 1 hour work. That's all. Correct? So now, so that whether you earn $1 million, $1, this is not in your hand. Yeah, so there are certain things in your hand, but ultimately it is in Supreme Lord's hand. So that is what Prahlad Maharaja has already told in previous verse. Okay, so as a result, the person in spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, his mind will be steady, content with whatever is getting by providence. So then, of course, as a result, person will be peaceful. When you are peaceful, you will be happy. So that is, without Krishna consciousness, you can't be happy. But with Krishna consciousness, you can be happy. Correct? So why Krishna conscious person is happy? One we said because his consciousness is divine and his intelligence is spiritual. But he also knows the reality. The person who is in divine consciousness, Krishna consciousness, he knows who he is. He knows that he is not this body. He knows he is a spirit soul. That's very important. That's the first step in towards spirituality. So one who reads Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, say Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, Mamam se jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. He is saying that all living entities are part and parcel of me. So Supreme Lord is Satchidananda. So therefore, all these who are part and parcel of me should also be Satchidananda. They also should be eternally happy. And they recognize that they are part of Supreme Lord. So that is a very important recognition. And when they recognize part of Supreme Lord, then they know who is the supreme enjoyer. As Supreme Lord, Krishna says, Bhoktaram ignas tapasyam sarvaloka maheswaram. They also know. Those who are Krishna conscious know that who is the supreme enjoyer and who is the supreme provider. So who is the supreme owner of all this, the world? When such knowledge is there, then person will be happy, the whole world will be happy. So now we see when we open a newspaper, so either you will see often they tell us about what is happening in the war between this Ukraine and Russia. So there, Russia thinks, we are Sarvaloka Maheswara. So therefore, that Ukraine belongs to us, possibly rest of the Europe belongs to us. And if you extend further, the whole world belongs to us. Everybody should work under our direction, our control. Other people say no, so we are independent. So they will also fight back. Correct? As a result, this war will go on. That means no peace. So everyone is thinking everything belongs to them. And this you can see, that is at the international level. But if you come down to a family, even in family also there will be big war. So you go to India, a father with 3 sons or 3 daughters. So the father, let's say, has big property. So as he is retiring, almost coming fog end, then the children will fight over what is belong to whom. Not simple verbal fighting. They will fight with weapons. Correct? So they will fight with weapons and kill each other. So there are many, many instances. You go through newspaper regularly, you'll find this. So this fight is going on because of this lack of knowledge. Okay? Or otherwise they will be happy with, okay, we have this 25 acre of land, 5 kids, so divide among themselves, each person 5 acre of land and be happy. But they will not be happy. They will simply fight over one small inch of this land. So in between there is one tree. It is not clear whether the tree belongs to this side or that side. If it is a thorny tree, maybe I don't care, okay, you take it. But if it is a very precious tree like a mango tree, cashew tree, precious, and you can make lot of money, so they will be fighting all the time. So all the time fighting, finally, one of them will die or both of them will die. Yeah, so this is what happens. So Krishna conscious person happy because he knows what he is. Then he knows the position of Supreme Lord and the relationship. So this knowledge is very, very important. And of course, he also knows that now that we are in this world, in previous verse, Prahlad Maharaja himself talked about samsara chakra sanatanam. This samsara chakra, that is punarapi janaram, punarapi maranam, repeated birth and repeated death. They know. So devotees have this good knowledge. So therefore they will think, all right, now that I am in this samsara chakra, how do I get up this samsara chakra? So therefore they take shelter of Supreme Lord. So Adi Shankaracharya has very beautifully one of these verses he talks about punarapi janaram, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare sayanam ihi samsare bahudustare kripaya pare pai murare. The same thing what Prahlad Maharaja has said. Punarapi janaram, punarapi maranam. So this samsara chakra. So these are the 2 big problems of life: repetition of birth and death, repetition of birth and it's repetition. So here, so again being born in the womb of mother, and then of course yes, this iha samsare, this world, that is samsara chakra, is very difficult to cross over. How can you cross over? Only when kripaya pare pahi murare. When you take shelter of one who killed Mura demon, that is Krishna, you can cross over very easily. So they know. But on the other hand, those who are not Krishna conscious, they have no this knowledge. So their knowledge is that I am this body, I have to enjoy the senses. And Krishna says, so all these living beings in conditioned state, thinking themselves a body, so they are suffering from their mind and senses. Correct? Manasastani indriyani prakritistani karsati. So suffering particularly here, pangs of material existence. So a person without Krishna consciousness is suffering from the pangs of material existence. Pangs means intense pain. Suddenly. Sometime, kids are there at the back of the car, you are going from one place to other place. After 5 minutes, they say, I am getting bored. How many of you experience? You drive them in your car, they're sitting at the back, even though they have mobile, or luckily they may even have chanting beat. But as you go along, after a few minutes they say, I'm getting bored. just within 4 or 5 kilometer drive only. So what do? Then you have to put maybe one artificial TV in the car and try to entertain them. That's one way. But in the past, this was not a problem. When we are going with parents walking from one village to other village, 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer, there is no boredom at all. Full of excitation. Because we are walking, you see a nature, you see frogs, sometimes you may see a snake also, a deer, sometimes love appears, sometimes fear appears, correct? And sometimes you see lizard going. Some kids are lizard friendly, they will go and pick up the tail of the lizard and have some fun. And some who are very enterprising, so they will go and climb a tree of the mango and pick up one mango and come happily and eating and keep walking. So that is how the life was. But now with all in the car, full of facility, but getting boredom. So that's the problem. Then on top of it, Krishna conscious person will not recognize that Supreme Lord is the Sarvalokamaya. So he recognizes himself as the center of this universe. And the moment you declare yourself to be center of the universe, everybody will also declare they are center of the universe. So, then this friction begins. Say for example, you go to the well. Why go to well? Go to this pond that we have got. Correct? Take up, each one of you take up one small pebble. If you throw in one place, what happens? You'll create this circle ripples, goes around. You throw in one place, it happens that it grows. Right? If you throw all of you in one same place, then the circle will be smoothly forming. But if everybody throws here, what happens? There will be many circles, they will have a collision. So that is what is happening. Everyone thinking themselves the center of this universe, or if not universe, will think I am center of this house. Even in house also, in a small tiny house of 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 1 bedroom, or no bedroom, it's correct, just a living place. Like that, people also live in living place. So there, if there are husband and wife, some kids, if each one of them thinking they're center of that house, then there will be a fight over who is the master of this house, under whose command house should run. Also, who should cook, who should eat in, who should sleep first, who should sleep next, who should wake up first, who should do some house chore. So if everybody is commanding, then there will be Mahabharata war every day. Correct? So if everybody thinks center of this, that's what happens, and that is the problem. So so therefore, what is the solution? Solution is becoming oneself Krishna consciousness, making the family members also Krishna conscious, divine consciousness. So this way they have this understanding, and they are content and happy with whatever they have got, with whatever they are. Otherwise, there is no limit. Correct? So a person who is earning 100,000, so he will work hard to get 150, thinking that he will be happy. Okay, now that he has got 150, then of course happiness is very short-lived, for maybe 1-2 days happy. Then again, he will see other person, oh, this fellow is earning 10 times of me. So, like that. Never happy with whatever is given. Yeah? So it is not sufficient. In fact, it is said that in this world, there is sufficient for everybody's need. In this earthly planet, the food, water, air, sunlight, the earthly ingredients, it is sufficient for everybody's need. But it is not sufficient even for one person's greed. Whatever we got here, this is not sufficient just for one person's greed. The greed increases so much that it is not sufficient. That is why we got all these wars and quarrels going on all the time. Yeah, so the greedy can increase too much high. Even, Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was not even happy. Initially he thought if he become ruler of the entire universe, take over heavenly planet, obviously of course demonly planet, earth planet, take over all the planets, let everybody be under his control. Maybe he derived happiness to a certain extent. After that he is not happy at all. So this is an example. So with so much of greed, So he was not happy at all. So therefore, so being content is very important. That is what devotee develop quality. Now, so without Krishna consciousness, they are not happy. That is what Prabhupada is saying that. Therefore, what to do? So, here he says, to preach Krishna conscious activity is the best welfare activity. So we want to help others. Our nature is to help others, serve others. Nature is to serve others, but in the process, we want to become controllers. The people want to serve others, but they want to be controllers. So, but on the other hand, here Prabhupada is saying that, the best welfare activity you can do is to preach or share Krishna consciousness that you got. So clearly, so we become Krishna consciousness and then share with others. So in this context, what does Prabhupada do? Now Prabhupada has tried to share this divine consciousness, his happiness with others, within India also. So here, so preach everywhere. It doesn't have to be internationally. It can be within your own place only. So in Prabhupada's life, before he traveled to US in 1965, before that, so he has attempted in many ways to preach, even in Jhansi. Jhansi Rani Lakshmibai, the famous place. So this Jhansi also Prabhupada opened some league of devotees, association of devotees, and tried to preach. And when he was in Allahabad also tried to preach. When he was in Bombay also he tried to preach. Even when he was at home also he tried to preach. At home. So at home also he invites family members, invite neighbors to come and join and discuss about devotional service and how we can be happy. Some have joined, some didn't join. Even the family members, often in Prabhupada's case, they didn't join him. Okay? So anyway, so he has attempted. But he received a Guru's order. So Guru's order is actually order from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Bharata bhumite haila manushya janma era. Janma sarthaka kari kara para upakara. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling those who are born in Bharata Bhumi, what is the best thing they can do? They become themselves Krishna consciousness, become happy, then they share happiness with others. How do you share happiness? By teaching this Supreme Lord instruction. And of course, you can furthermore share, if they are hungry, give them prasada. So that is what, in this temple, those who come, if they are hungry, so they can go straight to the upstairs, have some prasada. After hunger is subsidized, come down, walk in inside, just hear what is happening. Dance. If you are someone loving dancing, the moment you come during kirtan period, the arti time, that time chanting is going, kirtan is going on, and some are dancing, join the party. That's what Prabhupada says. Chanting, dancing, and feasting. Three things, primary. You chant holy name. You become, while chanting, you also get excited. Then you dance. Correct? If you are doing kirtan, slowly you start doing, initially you are fidgety. After 1 week, slowly you start relaxing. Then slowly you are nodding your head. Then slowly doing like this leg, correct? Feel become so much of conscious of ourselves. We don't want to dance. First time those who come to the temple, first time, we never went to Hare Krishna temple, just went to other temples, just came here first time. They don't even repeat also. Correct? Even though you do loud kirtan, they don't repeat. But slowly they open up. They relax. Now they feel, feel at home. Naturally, it becomes second nature. You don't feel who is watching you, what is going on. Correct? So slowly change. So that is important. So this way, one becomes happy simply by association of the devotees. So preaching means what? You are creating an association. So this is what Prabhupada did. So in India, he created a league of devotees. Okay, he closed that down and went to America on order of his Guru Maharaj. He received this order from Bhaktivedanta Maharaj. So his guru, Prabhupada guru, that you go and preach in Western countries. In Western countries means in their language. Correct? If you go to America or let's say UK, so there they primarily speak English, so speak in English. Or if you go to French, so there, if you speak in English, they will pretend as if they are not hearing, even though they know English also, some of them. Correct? There you have to preach in French language. You go to Germany, preach in German language. You go to Andhra Pradesh, you preach in Telugu language. Correct? If you don't know Telugu, take our Dhanasekar Prabhu, Damodar Prabhu now. So he will translate from your English or Malayali to the local language. So like that. So share. Of course, see it, when you do this kirtan is known to everybody. So there, predominantly in South India, they will start with Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Start with Hare Krishna, then Hare Rama. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, some people had objection. Oh, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching this Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna to everybody. All militias, laborers, Sudras, and Mohammedans, the Muslims, and making them as acharyas. He says, okay, you have a problem with my teaching, okay, I will do other way. Start with Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no problem, I will do other way. So therefore, it's all right. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Lord can change. So start with Krishna or Rama. Okay, so this is Para-upakara. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that those who are born in India, so make their lives perfect. This is very important. First, make their own life perfect by becoming Krishna conscious. Then they preach the gospel of Krishna consciousness all over the world, so that others also become happy. The goal is to make others happy. So the foundation of happiness is becoming consciousness of Krishna. So the foundation, if you want to build a very nice the building like this, the most important is the foundation. Foundation has to be strong. If the foundation is built on a sand, what happens? It will collapse. So you go to the beach here, you try to build one small, house in that sand. How long that will stay? Only a few minutes, then slowly start collapsing, because the below that sand, the water is there. So foundation is not strong. Or the small wave will come, wave will wash. The kids usually they go there for, they make a small like a house-like structure, then the wave will come and wash it off. So foundation is not strong. So you build a house on a strong foundation. So very important. So that is why the root of happiness is this consciousness, making the consciousness divine. Although we can make people happy by giving them some food, so taking care of their body, opening up a hospital, and also opening up some education center, teaching them how to become engineer, how to become architect, how to become accountant, to count money, how to become a warrior, so that you can stand at the defense, become part of defense and stand at the border, make sure that only authorized people are entering into your country. All kinds of skills are given. Or nowadays people want to fly, make sure that only authorized people are flying from Melbourne airport to some other place. So all this education we get. But those are okay. But they will not make person eternally happy. So because the goal of person is to be eternally happy. So that is very, very important. So this is where Krishna consciousness comes. So in this direction, Prabhupada, as you all know, in 1965. So actually this month, today is what? August 7. So August 13, 1965. August 13 is just 2 days before India's Independence Day celebration. 15th is the Swatantra Divas. Just 2 days before. He started for a journey from Calcutta, that ship went all the way towards Sri Lanka, then came to Cochin, Kerala, where Goparandesh is born. Correct, Prabhu? Yeah, so he is just saying, when is this person going to be born to assist me later? Anyway, he was not born at that time. I hope, correct? Yeah. So then from there he went towards slowly that canal, then through this Middle East and finally Europe. Then that from there he went to US, reached Boston. So that was the entry point, and from there that Jaladhuta, the ship took to New York. Of course, from New York, what? So he went from New York. Those who sponsored his visit, those Agrawals, so Gopal Agrawal and Shali Agrawal. Okay, so they organized Prabhupada to go from New York to this place called Butler where they were living. Now, interesting, on the way, Prabhupada took a bus. So when the bus was going from that Butler to Pennsylvania, from New York to that Pennsylvania Butler, so the bus ride, he took it, went through Pittsburgh, and then as it crossed the main part of the city, from outside, usually if you go from main part of the city, then just reach the bottom of the city, then you go to other destination. What do you see? All these advertisements, billboards, correct? Big boards advertising different things. So there Prabhupada has all these signs primarily promoting big brands of liquor, big brands of wine, big brands of cigarette, big brands of restaurant where they are serving meat. Some places they are serving how to increase your sexual strength, like this kind of advertisement only. This is also common. If you go from here to there, you can see the advertisement. So simply this kind of advertisement only. So that means, so the focus is all on how to increase this sense desire, appetite, and also how to satisfy this. That's the focus. But Prabhupada went there for what purpose? Actually opposite. He wanted to make them, pure. So that became challenging actually. So this completely against thoughts. But anyway, Prabhupada went them to give them a Krishna Bhakti. The moment you take Krishna Bhakti, you have to be, eating prasada, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication. Intoxication means no drinking wine, no drinking even the tea, no drinking alcohol. But that is being promoted. Nowadays actually promote people by using one God name also. If you go to, say, some of the places in South India, you will see Sri Venkateswara Wines Bar. Such names are there. Venkateswara, so there, Vaikunti, the Lord of Vaikunta in Tirupati. And there you will see a shop name, Sri Venkateswara Wine Shop. And inside you step in, they will put on Venkateswara temple, photo also. And with one garland, and morning they do puja. Then the wine shop is open. So this is a height of how to misuse Supreme Lord. Anyway, some people are devotees of Venkateswara. Hey, devotee of Venkateswara, come and do some business with us. Buy wines from us. The economic development. That can happen. But anyway, so this Prabhupada was very compassionate. Actually, the nature of compassion is also shown by Prahlad. So Prahlad, out of compassion, he shared his understanding and happiness with his classmates. Later you will see, in the chapter 9, this is chapter 7, 9, so there Narasimhadeva appeared, and then he killed his father because the father has given so much of torture to his son, who was a devotee, of course. So, but he has given so much of torture. So he killed. After that, he was so much angry. To pacify him, he went and did some prayer. In one of the prayer, he is saying that, O Supreme Lord, Narasimhadeva has given him benediction. Okay, now you can come back to Vaikuntha Loka. But saying that, I don't want to come back. You see, there are so much of fools and rascals, they are making so much of elaborate arrangement for sense gratification. Elaborate arrangement. Right? Creating big restaurants, creating big factories to produce things for sense gratification. So hosting big party, killing cows, eating meat. So much of robber has been making sense gratification, but they are not happy. They are suffering here. So therefore, what do? I'll be here. So so I want to make sure that they are also liberated, not just me alone. That was the compassion nature. Otherwise, he could have gone. So he also says, sometime, so there are great Mahabhagavats, but those Bhagavatas are not interested in liberating others. They are just interested in liberating themselves. So therefore, they might go to Himalayas and find one cave in Himalaya and then just sit down in the caves, themselves liberate. Yes, at least they are not troubling others. They are liberating themselves. Hopefully, others get inspired. But there are others who are even more compassionate. They want to extend that happiness to others. So this is what this the word Atma Upena. Atma Upena. So this Atma Upena means well-being, thinking well-being of others as one's own well-being. Now they are happy, so therefore they want to share with others. So this is what he also wanted to do. So by taking them. Then of course Prabhupada did the same thing. After going to this, Boston, then from Boston, New York, he traveled by bus to this place where the sponsors were, called Butler. The place was Butler. So there also Prabhupada, new person, age 70, then everybody, even the host himself, they were also cooking meat and eating. But Prabhupada tolerated all of that. So the devotee is tolerant. There is another quality. Not only compassionate, but also tolerant. So Prabhupada also did his own small way, this sharing the teachings of Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada's arrival, so these Agrabahas have advertised in what they call Butler Eagle, a small local newspaper. They just put a small advertisement. A Swami, Sanskrit scholar from India has arrived. He's staying in this place. Just small, so that the people around won't get surprised. Who is this strange person here? Because in a small village, everybody knows everybody else. Not like city. If you go to small village, generally, when the new person comes up, within 1 hour, everybody will know, here is one new person and he's staying this home. So before people come and inquire too much, you say, you advertise in small local newspaper. Okay, such a person came. So there were some people invited Prabhupada to speak. So one such invitation came from college called Slippery Rock State College. The name of the college, Slippery Rock. You go and stand on a rock which is very slippery, what will happen? You'll slip most of the time. Very rarely anybody can come without falling. Some come falling, some come back with injury. You go to these beaches, some places there are big stones, like they are very slippery. You put your foot and, especially on that Great Ocean Road and some of the places where there are rocks, water is falling and you go stand in slippery only. Slippery Rock State College. Anyway, so there the Dean of Philosophy Department, the head of department, he invited Prabhupada, come and speak with, teach, share your philosophy with us. So there Prabhupada, went there, and so usually in the college, they don't put any chair. So they just put space in the board, it will be there, they will give you chalk piece and you can speak. There won't be any mic in there. Prabhupada went there and sat there and did some little Hare Krishna Kirtan for a minute, like within 5 minutes, and then of course he spoke about. So this is how Prabhupada started. I think this university, that college, what used to be called during 65, Slippery Rock State College. And now right now they call Slippery Rock University. Very interestingly, this Slippery Rock University, if you go back, first it was called as, some elementary school. Slippery Rock School, just to train some teachers and some students. So that was started in something like 1889. Just 5 years before Prabhupada's appearance. Prabhupada was born in 1896, correct? Then that elementary school became college 5 years before Prabhupada's landing into their place. Then of course, after Prabhupada's departure, 5 years after it became a university. So just 5 years difference only. So it appeared before 5 years before Prabhupada. Then it became a college before Prabhupada went to there. Then of course it became a university. Now it's called Slippery Rock University of Pennsylvania. But there Prabhupada has connected with them. The dean that head of that philosophy department. So his statement is that the Srila Prabhupada inner stability and strength can't be shaken by any situation. That was devotees courageous, dhira. When in morning you see Prabhupada, dhira dhira jana, like Prabhupada will be singing. Who is this dhira dhira jana? He is referring to the Goswamis there, 6 Goswamis. So they were dhira dhira. Then they were very friendly to all this jana. You are living in Vrindavan. No, Vrindavan, whole Vrindavan not belong to you. There are other Vrindavan Vasis also. Correct? So you also have to have a very friendly relations with them. Then only you can do peacefully, writing or peacefully chanting. If you are hungry, they will say, oh, this person hasn't come today for Madhukari. Let's go and give it to him. Send a daughter with one chapati. Anything, all this will happen. Anyway, you have to be very friendly to people. So this that person, professor name was Allen Larson. His statement is very strong. He said, Prabhupada inner strength and the stability can't be shaken by any means. So strong, inner. Physically he is 70 years, maybe not that strong where he can't lift this slippery rock. Correct? You're speaking at Slippery Rock University or college, so but very solid. Yeah. So that is very, very important. And then here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, those who are born in Bharata Bhumi, so they themselves become Krishna conscious, then go and share this Krishna conscious with whole world. Why is he saying that Bharata Bhumi? Why not any other? Of course. So he says, preach everywhere. So preach within your state, within your country. And here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that the whole world is suffering from this extreme desire for sense gratification and thinking themselves with the body. They do not know that who they are. They do not know what will happen to them after this life. Have no idea. Therefore, out of compassion, he said, all those who are born in Bharata Bhumi, become Krishna conscious and go and share this with everybody else. Why? Because by nature, in general, you go to villages, even now also, they are already, even though they may be not Panditas, they may not have a degree from IIT, they may not have a degree from Indian Institute of Science, they may not have a degree from IIM, they may not have a degree from even the local college. But they are, they either out of fear of God or out of love of God, or they know that there is a karma, there is a next life. They know this knowledge there. They know that, okay, so our karma, if you do something, impious things to others, it will come back to us. They know that karma philosophy. And they know that there is something higher than themselves. As a result, their respect is there. Plus, furthermore, there are many holy places, full of holy places. You go to Vrindavan, holy place. You go to Madura, holy place. You go to Himalaya, there is holy place. You go to South India, Tirupati, there is holy place. You go to Udupi, there is holy place. You go to Kerala, there is holy place. Padmanabha. You go to Tamil Nadu, there is Ranganatha. So everywhere, every place, not only state level, every small place, the holy places. Pious persons are born. Sometimes these people are born in a rich family and then inspire others. So there is, this knowledge is there. So therefore, out of compassion, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, do that. Then of course, all those who are coming on the same line, all the way towards Bhaktivedanta Swami Gaura Maharaj. The moment he first come across Prabhupada, Abhay Charana Aravinda, Abhay Charana. So he told, oh, you all are young people, you are studying in Scottish college, very good in English. Why don't you teach this Krishna consciousness to people in English, in Western countries? Yeah, so that was the inspiration, that was the order. On order of his Guru. Actually Guru's order is coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And of course it is coming from Krishna himself. In Bhagavad Gita, when you go to the last chapter, in concluding, so there Krishna is saying that those who share this knowledge of devotional service, this bhakti, this whatever knowledge one learns in Bhagavad Gita, and if you share with others, what is the benefit for you? You will become a pure devotee. And then you go back to spiritual world. Now the person who has learned this knowledge from you, what will happen to that person? That person also will go back, become pure devotee, go back to spiritual world. And he will also pass. This will just chain reaction. It will go on, sharing. Compassion nature will come. And Krishna furthermore says, one who shared this, such a person become most dear to me. One who is sharing this knowledge, that person become most dear to me. See, for example, Krishna is all attractive. Everybody is attracted to Krishna. But Krishna is attracted to whom? Correct? We are attracted to Krishna. But Krishna is also attracted to somebody. So Krishna is attracted to the pure devotee. The pure devotee may not be having great education. He may not be a Sanskrit scholar. He may not be a rich person. He may not be eloquent in giving speeches. But out of his simple pure devotion, he has attracted heart of Supreme Lord. So this, say for example, you probably might have heard about the story of Hanuman. Hanuman, even though Supreme Lord Ram has went back to his Ayodhya Loka, his associates also went back, but Hanuman stayed. Hanuman said, I want to be here. So Hanuman, you're doing satsang. In fact, they say wherever there is Ramakatha going on, Hanuman will also come and participate. Hanuman also can do this satsang. So there is a story where once devotee asked, Hanuman was giving satsang, like for example, teaching glories of Leelas of Supreme Lord Rama. Then one Brahman asked, or one devotee there says, who is the highest devotee of Sri Ram? Then Hanuman, Hanuman says, let's ask Ram only. I heard that Ram has got, books, list of devotees who are his exalted devotees. So he has got a big book with this record. So this devotee ran to Lord Ram. With Hanuman, empowerment, he went to Vaikuntha Loka and asked Sri Ram, Hanuman told me that you got a big book that contains list of your most exalted devotees. I want to see the list. So he went there. Ram said, okay, take, here is this big book. 7 cantos. He opened and goes through everywhere. And he sees his name, the devotee, who is very happy. Then he keeps checking, canto 1 over, volume over, volume 2 over, volume 3 over, like this, go on checking. He can't find Hanuman name anywhere. And he checked repeatedly, just make sure that it by mistake maybe, Yeah, so when he checked through the big book, usually the book is big, like this big size. It won't be saying like the small size. Usually that khata. Usually the people who lend you money, you go to in Indian villages or cities, they will have big khata, this big A3 paper size, and they will write detail, name, who is the witness, the date, how much money is taken, all full with one anguti chap or signature, anguti chap others. So all kind of evidence is there. So he went through that khata, a big book. he couldn't find Hanuman name, and after repeated several times, he couldn't find. Then finally, he just went back to that place where satsang was going on. Then he told Hanuman that, I found my name there among that list, but unfortunately, I didn't find your name there. He says, okay, why don't you again go and ask Rama? He must be having some small book. He goes and asks, this is what Hanuman told me, and I couldn't find in their name. Can you please tell me another one where it is, that small book? Then Sri Ram, inside his chest, he had one small book. He took small book and he gave it to him. Okay, you can take this small book. There he went through. Then first name was Hanuman one. And he asked Ram, so you have big book and your small book, Hanuman name is just in small book. He says, Ram says that big book is actually, of course, contains list of my top exalted devotees who always remember me and serve me. So they are remembering me. So exalted devotees remember me. But here is small book with few names. These names, I am trying to remember their names. That is why I have to often refer to. So you can see, so what attacked Krishna is not your great birth. Hanuman didn't have a great birth. He's a Vanara Kula. Nor he went to Middle Park Primary School or Melbourne University. No, none of them. Of course, he went to actually University of Sun God later. But his Janma, so it was not any great birth to claim. Vanar Janma. But Hanuman, so Sri Ram is remembering all the time. Correct? So just like everybody is remembering Rama, everybody is attracted to Rama, but whereas here Rama attracted to this Hanuman because of his simplicity and his devoted nature. Yeah, so bhakti is very, very powerful. Okay? So with that, let me conclude. You can see, so by becoming Krishna consciousness, the person achieves Nityananda. Nityananda. When we say Nityananda Prabhu, means one who is happy all the time in service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he appeared earlier as Balaram, during Treta he appeared as a Lakshman. So he is happy in serving Supreme Lord, Nityananda. So that is why anyone who in service of Krishna, so he will be happy. Because Krishna is the Supreme Sarvaloka Maheshwar. He don't let you become unhappy, correct? If you are a son of a richest person here, this happiness, whatever the material happiness looking at, automatic. Yeah, so if you are content, you are happy, and that is happiness. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that, so you become Krishna consciousness, live Nityananda life. So in that Ananda, share that Ananda with also others by preaching in whatever capacity is possible. It is not that you also have to go and open up ISKCON 2, ISKCON 3. You can be part of the ISKCON, you can be part of your home. So share with others the teachings, the glories, and then as a result you become dear to Krishna, dear to Ram. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, those who say this, they are most dear to me. Ram says also same thing. Correct? Yeah, you can see these examples of Hanuman or they're illustrating us that within their own ability, so one can do. And so this way, one is happy and others happy. As a result, what will happen? The world become Vaikuntha. So if you go outside at the notice board, you will see Prabhupada is saying that, you just engage in service of Radha Vallabha. So by this, you are not in Melbourne, you are in Vrindavan, you are in Mayapur, you are in Puri. So we have got Mayapur, Vrindavan and Jagannath Puri. And it's like a Vaikuntha. This is a Vaikuntha, this is not a Melbourne. So you can be anywhere. As long as your consciousness is pure, Krishna conscious, you will be happy under all kind of circumstances, even under trying times, under turbulence. Correct? Because once we are in this world, we will come across all the challenges. While doing studying, while working, you come across. But you will know how to deal with it peacefully and happily. Yeah. So that is the message the purport or the teachings of this verse. And of course, Prahlad Maharaja himself has demonstrated this. He is not giving the speeches, correct? So he is demonstrating. So what he speaks, what he does are in harmony. And everyone, Prabhupada and other teachers, all the great acharyas have shown that successfully. Then we can also do in our own small way, whatever way we can share in our ability. Okay, let me stop here. Thank you, Hare Krishna. You got a question? Please, return. Yeah, so that the other mic is charged.
Prabhupada, you mentioned, and thank you for the nice class. Prabhupada, you mentioned we can only be, Krishna will only be pleased when we are satisfied. And yesterday Jagannath Ram Prabhu mentioned that Krishna will only be pleased when we are greedy for him and for his services. So how can we be satisfied when we are when we have greed?
Yes, I say that our goal is to be happy. Because Krishna is Sat Chit Ananda. And we are part of parcel of Krishna, obviously we should be happy. If we are not happy, there is some problem with us. Anyway, so our goal of doing service to Krishna is just not, the goal is not to be happy. Goal is to please Krishna. Correct? But because you are pleasing Krishna, Krishna will supply you that happiness. So just like when you are serving Krishna, pleasing Krishna, means you are connecting with the Krishna. So now we have this mobile phone, we are connected to that power. So because we connect to the power, there is a power inside saying that no, I don't want to supply this to mobile phone because this is broadcasting this today's class. Correct? You're not saying that. You connect it to me, okay, I will supply the power to you. You also energize, do your service happily. Similarly, when you are in service of Krishna, yes, your goal is not just to be happy, your goal is to please Krishna. And then of course, you mentioned about, we might become greedy for some specific service. That may happen in the beginning. In the beginning, we are doing some specific service. And that service is giving us some kind of prestige. Everybody is saying that, you have made this garland for Radharani. Then people start praising you. Then you start attaching, you become greedy. If anyone, one day, if they take your flowers and make a garland for Radharani, they will be very unhappy. And they will pick up quarrel also. Sometimes they say, Prabhu, there Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually the garland is supposed to be mine today. Can you please take out that garland and put that one which I made today, Thursday, he's supposed to be wearing my garland. Some Mataji will come and tell me. I said, Mataji, garland is already put there. He said, okay, your garland will come tomorrow. You can see the garland and I will make sure that your garland is there tomorrow. Yeah. So now, now if they know that, it is because some Mataji has replaced, you say this is for Thursday, this is Wednesday, something. They will take away this and put it the other side, then put here. So this, either greedy or fight will come on. Ultimately, Krishna, we say, he is a bhavagri. You have done with that bhava to offer it to Krishna. If it is not offered, don't worry, Krishna is already inside his own. Physically you may not see, but mentally the garland that you made out of love and affection, Krishna is wearing. It doesn't have to be physically like this. Correct? Yeah, so this happens. Sometime Mataji will say to make his distinction, they will put one like this to the end. Unique. Look, everybody is making garland, but I have put one this special shining cloth. So the distinction, but anyway, yes, we be in Krishna's service, do whatever we can do to please Krishna. So although we are not doing to get wealth or to get explicit happiness for ourselves, but Krishna will give us. Or he will make us content, he will make us, okay, so you may be just happy with what you made. But as you progress towards, from beginning stage of bhakti towards slowly ruchi, then bhava, At that time, you don't worry. You think of, oh, she made it, I'm very happy. My friend garland is now on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how nicely looking. In the beginning we say, why not my garland? Let us, oh, let others person garland be there. Yeah. So with time we'll become very compassionate. Yeah. This happens in everything, every service. In the beginning we say, oh, I should be doing kirtan. Slowly we say, oh, no, let Yogi do the kirtan. Right? Slowly. As we progress, as we become purify our existence, we understand Krishna better, understand ourselves better, understand what is the ultimate goal, understand why we are here. Slowly, with that understanding, you will say, no problem, I am very happy by doing just cleaning the Radhani kitchen. I don't have to come and do this kitchen. I don't have to be doing Gundicha there. In the beginning we think, oh, it is more prestigious to do Gundicha at the top. In the beginning. Slowly as they progress, any cleaning is good. Correct? Yeah. So in the beginning, maybe out of greed, we say we want that prestigious one. Actually, we are not greedy. We are greedy for prestige. We are greedy for service that will give us a prestige. Doing kirtan during, let's say, primary slot, Gaurarati time. If you are greedy, you can come and do Arati during Rajbhog Arati at 4:30 Arati. But that time nobody is there. Only 1 or 2 devotees, they may not repeat, so Maja is not coming. But one who is truly, they will do. For example, Prabhupada, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class, he said every day in all the temple, there should be Śrīmad Bhāgavatam from morning 7:30. Okay, this was instituted here. Of course, assume that some devotees will come listen to you. And one day in New York, Prabhupada started Śrīmad Bhāgavatam time, nobody has come. What to do? Prabhupada still gave a class, correct? He still gave a class. So he still gave a class, no physical living entities were there. Maybe ants and others were there, but the people were not there. So those who want to regularly come to hear. Nobody was there, empty room. So he still gave. Why is empty? Because he is thinking that Krishna is there, Guru Parampara is there. So he is doing his duty. Yeah. That's happened. That even happened during lockdown time. Lockdown time, were you coming regularly here? No, only you are going around sometime, correct? I saw you going around. Sometime you are lucky I am there, and sometimes you say, oh Prabhu, then I will go and get you, Mahaprasad to you. Correct? So that was. But that time who was there? Pujari was there, of course, DDs were there, and lecture, one speaker, and one person to broadcast. Sometime I am also not there. I am just going out to do something, the person is speaking. Correct? Yeah. So at that time, of course, we knew that somebody listening remotely, but Prabhupada's time there was no YouTube. YouTube is only recent creation. Yeah. So therefore, once you lift your consciousness to the purity, slowly, then any service will do. No greedy. You may be greedy for service, but you will not be unhappy. It is not that, oh, I must do this. No. Any service you will accept with pleasure. Okay?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Please give to Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the wonderful class. My question was, you said we should preach to everyone, we should go out of the way to preach, but sometimes when we preach, it's also said there are people who are faithless, so we commit offenses in that term. So how do we understand that?
Yes. So that is also there in the last chapter only, Bhagavad Gita. So he says, you preach to devotees. Then if you preach to faithless people, they might offend. Yes, so this is challenging. But you can derive, when you are preaching in a big place, clearly you will have maybe many devotees coming, but there will also be non-devotees. Like when Prabhupada was preaching in big Pandal programs, so many people came. In a public, other people also will come. Some faithless will also be there. Correct? So is it offensive? It may look like offensive, but a preacher, yes, Krishna says, don't give it to others, those who have no faith. But the devotee is so kind, he knows. But what to do? Everybody is faithless only here. So out of his compassion, he preaches. Then among those who are faithless, some of them will fight back. Hare Krishna is not the way to do. Krishna is not Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like that they may say. But in the process they are saying Krishna, 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 Krishna so many times. Then they become devotees. So if you ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is devotee? So he says, from anyone who heard Hare Krishna once is a devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, what to speak of any other. So even if person has heard Hare Krishna, or person said Hare Krishna out of grudge, these Hare Krishnas are giving us so much a problem, waking up at 4:30 in the early morning and doing thundering kirtan and not allowing me to sleep peacefully next door. Actually, if they are saying that, they are becoming devotees, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? So then of course others are devotees already. So therefore, yes, if you have preached, they might be a little offending, but because of you as a Mahabhagavat, so Krishna becomes very kind. That's what we say, no? With Krishna, first you surrender, then we will see your liberation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, take here is love of Godhead, after that we will see about your, how qualified you are. Correct? So in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, yes, they are offenders, they might be faithless, but Chaitanya, out of compassion, he is giving it to everyone. So therefore, now this, that was in Dwapara Yuga. Now in Kali Yuga where nobody is faithful. Correct? If you go to Satya Yuga, 75 to 80% people are pious and faithful. Then in Treta Yuga, 50%, 50%. Then in Dwapara Yuga, maybe 25-50%. Then in Kali Yuga, hardly anybody. So therefore, what to do if you want to share? No other solution. So you may have to please, share this. So there you share them nicely. Give them, if it is a Janmashtami, just take one nice, say, cake. Give them a cake. Here is the birthday cake for you. Faithless, but he will eat happily that cake. Then he will ask you, where did you get this cake from? I brought it from Hare Krishna temple. He heard Hare Krishna. Oh, Hare Krishna. Oh, I saw these people in the city dancing. Okay, so he is becoming already a devotee. Devotee at stage 1. Yeah.
Thank you, Raji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So time for prasada. Please go and have prasada. Hare Krishna.